Welcome to Hollywood Secrets Information. In this video, we are diving deep into the darkest corners of old Hollywood, where fame glittered on screen, but behind closed doors, some childhoods were filled with strict control, pressure, manipulation, and painful decisions made by parents who care more about money and fame than their child's happiness. Today, we reveal the 17 worst and cruelest parents of old Hollywood, based on widely documented cases and historical accounts. These stories are dramatic, emotional, and shocking, but they shape the lives of many legendary stars you know today. 1. Judy Garland, her mother Ethel Gum, became infamous for pushing her daughter into stardom at an impossibly young age, enforcing rehearsals until Judy broke down in exhaustion. She reportedly controlled Judy's diet, appearance, and even her sleep schedule, believing discipline would secure Hollywood success. Studios later continued similar pressure, but it all began with a parent who prioritized fame over childhood. Judy often described feeling like a product instead of a daughter, shaped more by ambition than affection. As Garland rose to stardom, her mother maintained strict authority and financial control, creating emotional scars that lasted a lifetime. The pressure to perform became Judy's normal, leaving her longing for warmth she rarely received. This upbringing became one of the most tragic Hollywood childhood stories ever told. 2. Shirley Temple, her parents weren't abusive, but they managed every part of her life under strict rules that eliminated nearly all normal childhood experiences. Her mother supervised every curl, costume, and scene, ensuring Shirley delivered perfect performances at all times. Her father managed her finances, but famously invested much of her multi-million-dollar earnings poorly, leaving her with only a fraction of her fortune. Shirley was shielded from freedom, constantly working and rehearsing. The pressure to maintain her adorable on-screen persona created emotional strain behind the smiles. Though they loved her, the intense control shaped her life in ways she openly discussed as an adult. Her story reflects a pattern in Hollywood: childhood traded for global fame. 3. Drew Barrymore, although she is not from old Hollywood's golden age, Drew Barrymore's story is historically tied to one of Hollywood's oldest acting dynasties. Her mother, Jay Barrymore, allowed young Drew into adult environments far too early, exposing her to nightlife, fame pressure, and chaotic situations. Drew became financially responsible for her mother, reversing normal parent-child roles. She later revealed feeling unprotected and emotionally neglected, leading to struggles that began shockingly young. Her mother enjoyed the Hollywood lifestyle Drew's fame provided, but failed to offer stability or boundaries. Drew emancipated herself at just 14, a dramatic step showing the extent of her turmoil. Her resilience is remarkable, but her childhood remains one of Hollywood's most cautionary tales. 4. Natalie Wood, her mother, Maria Zakharenko, was known for strict control rooted in fear that her daughter would lose fame. She pressured Natalie into emotionally demanding roles and discouraged friendships to keep her focused solely on acting. Maria reportedly manipulated producers and crafted Natalie's appearance meticulously from childhood. She pushed Natalie into scenes even when they terrified her, believing sacrifice was necessary for stardom. Her intense grip on Natalie's life created emotional conflict that followed her into adulthood. Though Maria claimed she acted out of love, many believe she saw fame as a family lifeline. Natalie's life became a mixture of glamour and inner turmoil shaped by her mother's demands. 5. Mickey Rooney, his mother, Nellie, was determined to make her son the biggest star in Hollywood and expected perfection from him from an early age. She managed his schedule without mercy, pushing him into constant performances and tours. Mickey often said he never experienced a real childhood because rehearsal, work, and discipline took priority. His mother's strict control over money and decisions left him with little independence. Even as he became one of Hollywood's highest-paid stars, he remained emotionally shaped by her demands. Her ambition helped create a legend, but also stripped Mickey of freedom. His reflections later in life revealed a childhood built more on pressure than parental comfort. 6. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor's parents loved her deeply, but they placed her career above normal childhood experiences. Her mother, Sarah Taylor, supervised every detail of Elizabeth's work, ensuring her daughter met the studio's expectations flawlessly. Elizabeth later said she felt overwhelmed by the constant pressure and attention. Her parents protected her image fiercely, but demanded professionalism beyond her age. The emotional burden of early fame influenced Elizabeth's adult life, relationships, and struggles. Though not cruel in intention, the pressure they placed on her created emotional complexities she carried throughout life. Her story shows how Hollywood fame can distort even well-meaning parenting. 7. Jackie Coogan. He became one of the biggest child stars of the silent era, earning millions, but his parents spent nearly all of it. When Jackie turned 21, he discovered he had virtually no money left, despite years of intense work. His mother and stepfather claimed the money was theirs because they were adults. Jackie was devastated, feeling betrayed by the people who should have protected him. This scandal was so shocking that it inspired the Coogan Law, protecting child actors' earnings. His story remains a prime example of financial exploitation by parents in early Hollywood. The betrayal left emotional wounds far deeper than the financial losses. 8. Linda Darnell. Linda Darnell's mother, Pearl, was determined to turn her daughter into a star, focusing all her attention on pushing Linda into modeling and acting. She controlled Linda's diet, activities, and personal choices throughout her youth. Her mother's criticism created insecurities Linda battled her entire life. Fame brought no relief, as Pearl continued to pressure her daughter to stay perfect and successful. Linda later described feeling trapped between her ambitions and her mother's demands. The emotional weight of this upbringing shaped her relationships and career choices. Her story is a haunting example of a parent's ambition overshadowing a child's well-being. 10. Freddie Bartholomew. His early success attracted relatives who fought over custody and control of his earnings. His aunt, who raised him, engaged in long legal battles against Freddie's parents, creating immense stress for the young star. The pressure to support a family he barely knew left Freddie overwhelmed. His income became the center of countless disputes, overshadowing his childhood and acting career. The emotional strain of being turned into a financial asset remained with him for years. His story highlights how greed can tear families apart. It remains one of Hollywood's most dramatic cases of familial conflict. 11. Jean Harlow. Her mother, Mama Jean, lived through her daughter's stardom as if it were her own career. She micromanaged Jean's appearance, relationships, and career choices. Mama Jean enjoyed the luxury and fame that came from Jean's success and discouraged independence. Jean struggled to assert herself, often giving in to her mother's desires to avoid conflict. This dependence created emotional distance and internal turmoil. Jean longed for freedom, but her mother's influence remained strong. Their relationship became one of Hollywood's most discussed examples of parental control. 12. Tab Hunter. His mother raised him under strict rules and emotional intensity, expecting him to mature quickly and contribute financially. Her demands created pressure that shaped Tab's personality and career. He often felt responsible for her emotional well-being, reversing typical parent-child roles. The tension at home influenced his early decisions and relationships. Though he loved her, he experienced constant pressure to succeed. His story reflects the emotional burden many young stars carried in Hollywood. It is a powerful reminder of how parent expectations can shape a child's life for better or worse. 13. Patty Duke. Though not biological parents, Patty Duke's guardians, the Rosses, were parental figures who exercised extreme control over her life. They dictated her food intake, career choices, and daily routines. Patty later revealed emotional manipulation and intense pressure. She often worked long hours with no reprieve, leaving her exhausted. Their control extended into finances, relationships, and public image. Patty's story is one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking examples of parental style exploitation. Her resilience later in life remains inspiring. 14. Tony Dow. His parents encouraged a strict, success-driven lifestyle that pushed him quickly into the entertainment world. The pressure to maintain his perfect boy image created emotional strain. His parents managed much of his early career, shaping his public persona. Tony struggled to balance fame with his personal identity. The stress contributed to mental health challenges later in life. His story serves as a reminder that fame often comes with unseen burdens. Though not abusive, the intense expectations shaped his emotional landscape permanently. 15. Bobby Driscoll. His early success with Disney made him a household name. But behind the scenes, his parents pushed him into demanding roles and constant work. They relied heavily on his income, leaving him with little freedom. Studio pressures combined with home pressure created overwhelming emotional challenges. Bobby eventually struggled with self-worth and direction, shaped by years of parental and industry demands. His decline became one of Hollywood's saddest tragedies. His story remains a warning about the cost of childhood fame. 16. Gary Coleman. Though later in Hollywood history, Gary Coleman's case echoes old Hollywood patterns. Parents managing finances, controlling decisions, and allegedly misusing earnings. Gary discovered much of his fortune was missing, leading him to sue his parents and manager. He felt betrayed by those meant to protect him. His childhood was filled with medical struggles and work pressure. The emotional weight of exploitation influenced his entire adult life. His story shows how parental control can turn into exploitation, even unintentionally. 17. Frances Farmer. Her mother, Lillian, controlled her daughter's life with intense emotional force, making decisions about her career, mental health treatment, and personal life. Frances often felt trapped between her mother and studio pressures. Their relationship grew increasingly toxic as Lillian insisted on managing every detail of her life. Frances struggled for independence, but faced constant resistance. Her story became one of Hollywood's most tragic tales of control and emotional domination. It remains a powerful example of how parental influence can become overwhelming and destructive. And that concludes our journey into the 17 worst and cruelest parents of old Hollywood stories filled with pressure, control, ambition, and the heavy cost of early fame. These actors gave the world unforgettable performances, but behind the scenes, many paid a painful price that, if you found this video eye-opening, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and help us uncover more untold Hollywood truths. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.